All right, so we are starting a project today on this 1967 Plymouth Fury 3. Now, I don't know if I've told you guys about this on my channel before. Typically, I don't talk about my cars on this channel because I mainly do tech reviews, but sometimes every once in a while I do car stuff such as changing the oil for the first time in like 13, 14 years on the Thunderbird, or even like I'm doing today, the first start on this 1967 Plymouth Fury 3 in about 15 years. So the problem with this car is about 14 to 15 years ago. It's been right about 15 years. The carburetor, I believe it's the jet on it, or the seat, the needle, whatever it's called, little thing that goes there and has like a little needle on the end of it. I'm not very good with carburetors, and I don't know what everything is called on carburetors, but anyways, that little thing got stuck open, I believe it is, and that allows basically a bunch of gas to basically flat out the engine, and gas gets into the actual engine itself, and it won't let the engine run basically. And that happened 15 years ago, and my dad took the carburetor off and he never assembled it until today. I have finally gotten him to put the thing together because we've had a rebuild kit for, again, about 15 years. He just never put it together. So since then, this thing has been sitting here untouched. We haven't even cranked the key at all in 15 years. The only thing that's happened to it in 15 years is the battery is sometimes connected. Sometimes we'll give it a charge. And actually, I did that a couple days ago because I wanted to just plug up the battery and connect this thing here and just see everything come to life, like the radio and stuff. I wanted to make sure everything still worked. And I did that a couple days ago with this battery. Now, this is a too small of a battery, but the battery that's been in this thing for 15 years has been dead for probably about 13 years. It's actually right over here. It's a PowerVolt 65-month warranty battery. I've never heard of PowerVolt. It's probably a Chinese company or something. But you can see here is put in, or made at least, January of 4. So I believe that's 04 this thing has been in here. So about 16 years. And when I plugged it up the other day to the trickle charger, I left it for about a day and it was totally shot. It only gained about 5 volts and it was dropping about 0.4 volts every second. I saw it literally drain in front of my eyes. So this thing was totally shot because it has been dead for so long. So I got the old Mustang battery over here and plugged it up, gave it a charge, and it worked perfectly fine for my needs, which was just, turning on the lights and stuff. But don't worry, we will get a new proper size battery for here. Guess I'll just show you guys around here. So other than the battery sometimes being connected, this thing has been totally untouched until today when we got the carburetor assembled. We're getting there. It's not completely assembled yet, but other than that, I've also today changed the power steering fluid. The old stuff that was in there, I believe it was ATF, Dexron, or whatever it's called, 3. And we had some of that in actually the trunk of this thing still. And so I changed that out real quick, just put it in. It's pretty simple to do. You just take the old fluid out and put new in. So other than that, that's the only fluid change it's had in 15 plus years. Also the radiator fluid, about 2 years, I would say, we kind of looked under this thing and there's a giant puddle right under here, and it was, of course, radiator fluid. So I believe the radiator has a good hole in it. We just put some in here just to see if it would hold, and so far it is. I don't know how long it will hold though, so we're probably gonna have to replace the radiator too. Of course, we're gonna replace the oil. It's 15 years old, plus it is totally full of gas, so I'm gonna be pretty interested to see what comes out of the drain plug. The transmission fluid, that's fine. It's not bad. It actually looks pretty good. And the brake fluid, I believe that is good too. And that's really all the fluid it has. Or the diff fluid too, but that, I want to say that really goes bad. So mainly we're just going to do oil, probably going to have to do the coolant since it's losing it. More than likely it's losing it. So that's what we're going to do. So the next clip, I'm going to go ahead and take all the old oil out. I'm going to replace the filter too, of course, and we'll try to fire this thing up. I'm really interested. First start in 15 years. Actually, before that, I'll just show you around the car. You got a 67 Fury 3. It's been repainted a couple times. I'll show you guys the interior here. It's actually pretty clean. There's no cracks on the dashboard, though it is peeling up a little bit on that side over there. As you can see, it has 125,000 miles. If you look on the odometer, it says 25,000. That's because it's rolled over 100,000, so it just says 25,000 miles. But in reality, that's how much it has. It has an aftermarket radio in it. It also has the factory radio, but that isn't hooked up. It does work, and so does the aftermarket radio. Also has replacement speakers in the back. It has the original factory one up here, which also does work. And seats are in, well, these are seat covers, but the seat covers are in good condition. And the headliner, as far as I know, is original, and it is in fantastic condition, not peeling or anything at all. Top here is totally peeling. Obviously, that's pretty common, though. We're going to have to figure something out with this, probably just get it replaced. And coming back here, this is all just, we were basically using this thing as a table for 15 years. So I just have some of the stuff from the for my Jeep Cherokee and stuff here, some dash bezels and stuff. We're not setting anything heavy on here because obviously we do not want to dent it. Come back here, we have some stuff in the trunk. Just a auto emergency kit. We have a fire extinguisher. There is some rust back here, but that's the only hole right there, and it's pretty small, so surprisingly little rust back here. I'm gonna bring this down just to show you guys. It's in all right condition. Fury 3 Plymouth. It is also out of gas, so we're gonna have to put new gas in here. And a couple of days ago for a tech review, actually it was a couple of weeks ago, I got a little like a borescope camera, and I decided to look into the cylinders on here, and they were actually pretty all right. There wasn't any rust or anything, nothing concerning. So the engine, as far as I'm concerned, is in good working order too. Of course, once we get that carburetor on there. So there it is. That's really all the proof that I have that this thing has been sitting for 15 years. Actually, also, I have photos. I'll put up those photos now of the Plymouth. I would say, I think this was in like 07 or 06. It looks pretty much the same. It was actually just one spot over where the Thunderbird is sitting now. Then we put on these little ramps or whatever you want to call it, and moved it over. Also, you can see the amount of dust on this thing. I actually washed these windows just because I was bored one day a couple years ago, and you can see they're pretty dusty still. Dust on the hood. You can see dust all over here. Sorry for the barking dog. But there it is. So let's go ahead and put the carburetor on, change the oil and so on. And let's just hope it fires up. All right, so I'm now under the car in kind of a weird position. So hopefully you guys can hear me well. But here is the drain bolt on the bottom of the engine. Again, this is like 15-year-old oil. Kind of looking forward to seeing how this stuff looks. Sorry if I'm sounding a bit weird. Again, I'm in a weird position. I can't really even breathe that well. This car is pretty low to the ground, so I'm trying to do my best. Anyways, got the bolt here cracked loose. Let's go in and just untighten it the rest of the way here. And I can see a little bit around the bolt there. Let's take the socket off here and try to get this off by hand. It should go into the pan. Come on. Tell you what, I'll just skip to the part where I actually get the bolt off. All right, so that's the next clip you're gonna see. All right, so we're about to get this off. I'm probably just gonna let the bolt fall in. Oh, it's dripping. Oh man, I'm really trying not to make a mess. Let's just let it fall into the pan. Oh, there we go. Hopefully you guys can see that well. There it is. Right there. Looks pretty, I mean, it looks all right. Now, obviously, I wonder if it's gonna have so much in this, I wonder if it's gonna have so much oil in the engine that it's gonna overflow this, because this thing was way above the max fill line because it dumped
so much gasoline into the engine. So that's why there is so much coming out of here, because there's also a lot of gas. Um, by the looks of it, it doesn't look very sludgy, and I'm gonna say that's because a little bit was dripping on the edge. That's all right. I'm gonna say that's because the gas that was in the oil has kind of kept it from sludging up, I guess. Again, I'm not very technical with that, I guess, but that's just kind of my opinion on that, is that the gas has kind of kept the oil from getting all sludgy. So there it is, pretty cool. So I'm actually gonna let this drain overnight. I'm just gonna leave the bolt out of it. And I'm gonna have to get that in the morning from the bottom of the pan, but that's all right. Also, I'm going to get the filter off probably right now, actually.
All right, so the oil is still kind of draining, and in the meantime, I went ahead and took the filter off. Now, this is it's a Wix. I don't know why it says Dana on it. Who knows? Anyways, there's the model number and well, it says oil filter right there, of course. Now, this is the same oil filter that's been on there for probably 15 plus years, and I'll just show you guys the inside here, and it actually looks relatively clean. Now, I don't think we're going to see any sludge in here or anything, because the engine, again, hasn't been running in 15 years. I can almost guarantee there will be sludge, but it wouldn't be in here because the engine, again, hasn't run with the sludge in it. So if we did have any sludge, it would be in the bottom of that pan, which when I empty it out later, we will take a look and see if I find anything. But this is what it looks like. Not bad. Let's go and get some of the oil here, and hey, it's definitely still oil. It's definitely still slippery, but again, it was way overfilled and it had a bunch of gas in it, so it is not good oil, though it is, again, still slippery. So there it is. So pretty cool. What we're going to do now, hopefully assemble that carburetor all the way tomorrow, and maybe put some oil in here, and then probably the next day, or maybe even the same day, we're also going to fog the cylinders, and hopefully in the next couple of days here, we'll go ahead and get it started. All right, so in here was the old oil that came out of here, and I went ahead and put it in the oil jug. This is the oil that I just put in the engine, so I was just using the jug to put the old oil in. And we also have a little bit over here because that bottle got pretty much full, so I had to move to a different bottle because, of course, it was overfilled. So just wanted to show you guys the oil here now. Yes, it's definitely black. It's definitely used. It's definitely not good. It is still slippery, though. But that doesn't really mean much. There could have been a bunch of sludge in the bottom there. I really didn't know, but it actually kind of surprised me. There was not really any sludge. It's little particles here and there, and I don't believe these were in the bottom of the pan, but that could just been like dirt falling off the bottom of the engine or something, since I've been working on it. So the oil was actually a lot better than what I thought. It's actually better oil than what came out of the Thunderbird here. Now, the Thunderbird had, I think, 12-year-old oil right around there in it. And we've been driving this thing every once in a while, so that oil kind of got moved around and stuff, which I thought would get rid of the sludge. And in this case, this thing hasn't been moving, so I thought there'd be a lot of sludge, but really no. So I think the gas has kind of kept this oil from sludging up. That's kind of my theory on it, is that the gas has really actually helped it out. So kind of surprised me. There is really no sludge at all. So of course that's good. It's not good for video content, but of course it is good for the motor, and that's what matters. All right, so it's a couple days later, and we finally got the carburetor put back together and is now on the car. And as you can tell, we have finally moved it out of the garage. I'll try to bring you guys in here, show you guys where it's been sitting. Right there, where it's been sitting. And my dad, me, and my friend Adam, you guys might remember him, moved this thing out a minute ago, so there it is. Kind of out of breath. Show you guys the carburetor. I'll put it back together. There we go. All right. Yeah, go again. Give it a little. Hold on. Stop. Whoa. All right, so it's now a little bit later, and I decided to not go ahead and give up for the night, trying to get this thing running. So a suggestion that my dad had is that he thought the fuel line was clogged because, well, there's no fuel coming out at the fuel filter. We went ahead and took that line off, and there's zero fuel coming out of there. So I went ahead and disconnected the line at the tank, and also the line up here where the fuel pump is, the little vacuum pump, whatever you want to call it is. And yeah, there's really nothing in there except for a couple drops of absolutely terribly smelling, what I would assume is fuel. It was black, and there was only a couple drops of it, but it smelled terrible. So that came out, and so I disconnected the line up here at the little fuel pump, and I blew through that, and a bunch of this stuff came out of the back line, and it smelled horrible. Like, it was terrible. It was like brown or black in color. So first of all, the line was clogged, and so we put that all back, and it is still not firing up, and we are still not getting fuel on that line. And we found out why, and it is because, well, the little vacuum pump there is just simply not vacuuming. It's not pushing, it's not pulling any fuel. I went ahead and put my finger over it while he was cranking it over, and there was like such a little amount of suction, it's not enough to pull up any fuel. So the little fuel pump, vacuum pump, whatever you want to call it, is definitely done with. It's probably just the rubber disintegrated in there, so it's not pumping anymore. So we're gonna have to get a new one of those. I'm also gonna have to come in here in like a day and replace the fuel line that I replaced today because it was old and dry rotted. It's falling apart when I took it off. So because it's not fuel rated, I just put it on there just to see if it would crank, which it didn't. So I'm gonna have to come back in a day, replace the lines. I'm also gonna have to, of course, replace the pump. So not that terribly much of work, but hopefully then it will fire up. But for now, it's just gonna stay out here. So hopefully it doesn't rain the next couple days, because I really don't want it to leak inside. So there you go. All right, I just wanted to do a little update. I went ahead and replaced the rubber lines in the back there and the front up here. Again, the old hoses there, they were pretty bad, so I just replaced them for now with some non-fuel line hose, and now today we got the fuel line hose, the proper one. So I just put that on, used some new hose clamps, and it went on really smoothly. So here is the old line. Just wanted to show you guys here. It's well, it's pretty old. Let's just say that. Maybe the original, I am really not sure, but it's totally dry rotted. You can see there's just chunks missing here. So definitely not good line anymore. That'll be going into trash in a little bit here. So tomorrow we are going to get the new fuel pump, install it tomorrow, and hopefully this thing will run. I'm really excited. All right, go. Almost. Don't start yet. All right, so right there was, it almost started, and we finally now have gas in the carburetor. So hopefully next turn it will go ahead and run. Go and hit it. Go ahead and hit it. It's running. Give it a couple revs. Smoking a lot. Probably burning something off. That's awesome. Pretty smoky, but not what I was expecting. Oh yeah. Look at all the smoke here. I can smell it. Yeah. I can smell a bunch of burning dust. Yeah, it's gonna be like this for a while. But hey, she started. Oh wow. Oh yeah. All that liquid on the ground. I wonder what that is. Who knows? When I was under here the other day, I did notice the muffler had a hole in it, and you guys can hear it. That is so cool. Go ahead and show you guys here. Check it out. The gas gauge still isn't working. Gonna have to figure something out. Looks like it's charging. That's good. It's the highest I've ever seen that gauge. Radio's on, and you can see there the accessory tachometer is working. Can I give it a rev or two?
Let's let it run.
All right. I know, that's what I'm thinking. Is it?
That's not
Yeah, I
fluid.
saw it on the ground.
That's water.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot. Alright, well Data has given me permission to go ahead and give her a little rev here. It has stopped smoking quite a bit. Alright, there we go. And I'm now recording with my left hand, but we're going to start it for a second time to see how it does. Not bad. See, temperature, not doing bad at all. It is full on coolant. I was actually a little bit overfilled, that's why it's puking it out the tube there. Apparently you're not supposed to fill it to the top in old cars, I guess, but it's not a big deal. I'll just push it out of that tube. Here we go. Blinkers. Blinkers do work. For some reason on the dash here, they don't light up. I guess they're not supposed to do that. I know the lights work. The heat, I went ahead and turned that on, but I didn't feel anything coming out of the vents. Maybe it just needs sap time or something. You can see there, pretty good oil pressure though. That's good. This thing is so cool. I'm really happy it finally got running. After close to 15 years, it's been 14 or 15, right around there. It's finally alive again. That is awesome. Go ahead and hop in. We're gonna go for a quick little ride here. Possibly.
Why is that? That jack is not in a good place.
Yeah, well, the truck is.
I guarantee these tires are shit.
Yeah. Don't say that. I'm gonna get demonetized. Yeah, with them being on those little things right there, I'm not sure. It's a shame because they're really good tires, but might have a flat spot. I would show that, but that's our license plate.
Not missing.
Huh? It's not
Not
much
gonna
fire.
miss. I can tell you. Oh wait.
It is or it isn't.
It's not. You feel it.
Yeah.
Oh my brakes come on. Sure as hell not going down that driveway.
Yeah, this is the first time it's been up here in close to 15 years. That's so cool.
It still smells like.
Yeah, it's smelling so.
Where's your?
Needed help to fix her $25,000 IRS crisis. Economists
I'm gonna get
It's
demonetized.
106.
Sure, I'm just gonna stop the video. I don't think anything eventful is gonna happen. We're just gonna bring this thing down the road real quick. Can't hear much because of this thing. Hop in here. And actually, well, yeah, let's go and close the hood real quick. Why not? See there, I have the battery connected. There we go. Let's hop in here, see how she does. There we go. Yeah, almost. I'm gonna have to give it gas, probably. No, that's the brake. There we go. Just had to give her a little gas there. Sounds really good. See where the tachometer is sitting. Awesome. See there, light works. Oh, look, this decided to come on now. This thing was, the little light here is working really never. This little switch here is very sensitive, so I wonder if... Huh, weird. Yeah, now it seems better. I was playing with it the other day, just moving it around. Maybe I cleaned the contacts a little bit. Now it seems to be working better. Flashers. See there on the fender there. And yeah, I believe they work. Washer, let's try that. I just replaced that pump yesterday with a brand new one. Yep, works perfectly. Awesome. There we go. All right, so that is pretty much going to conclude part one of, well, resurrecting the Plymouth Fury 3 here. So in this video, we got it running, and I also, I made a bunch of different clips about this darn washer pump just because I had so many troubles with it. Probably not going to include most of those, but I replaced the pump with a brand new one off of eBay. It was new old stock. It's not a actual genuine Mopar one, but it fit in perfectly, and now this thing is not leaking, which is great. I've been starting this thing up every day now, so it's been like 4 starts since we first ever got it started a couple days ago, and it's doing great. Starts every time. First turn of the key. No misfires or anything. Obviously, we're gonna have to get the correct size battery. I'll show that in part 2, which that'll be probably coming out in a month maybe. It totally depends on when I get this video up. Now, driving with this thing, like we showed in the previous clips, that probably wasn't the greatest idea, especially considering we were doing a burnout or two and going over some bumps. It totally could have fallen over here. It probably wouldn't have gone into the fan, but maybe it would have hit the belt. But it didn't. It stayed in its place. Didn't really move at all. It's pretty solid in there, as you can see, but yeah, it probably wasn't the greatest idea. So there it is. Also, the brakes, we went over that. It's basically just full of air. There's not any leaks as far as we could tell on any of the lines because it's been sitting here a couple days. I've even pressed on the pedal and held it there, and there's still no leaks anywhere. So maybe it just leaked out of the top here. I'm really not sure. I did notice this little seal up here is a little bit leaky because you can see the reservoir here is kind of covered in it. So maybe it somehow came out of that over time. I'm really not sure, but I don't think we're going to have to do really much brake work other than bleeding it. We're also going to have to get a new radiator. We have actually well, they're actually used belts, and actually we're not even going to put those on. We're just going to get whole new belts altogether, probably replace the power steering fluid once more, get a new battery, and a handful of other things in the next clips. So again, I'm not 100% sure on when that's going to come out, but hopefully soon. Also, we're going to go ahead and degrease the engine. That's pretty easy. I have a brand new can here, and this one's pretty much used up all the way from my when I was using it on my Jeep Cherokee. So there it is. Hopefully part 2 will be coming soon though, but for now, if you guys maybe want more videos, on the Plymouth and just car videos in general. Of course, I also do like tech reviews and stuff. If you're interested in that, go in and do me a favor and go in and subscribe if you want to. And also don't forget to go in and like this video. So yeah, I guess that's really it for this video. Hope everybody enjoyed. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.